Testing. Alright, think I'm good. My channel. Great thumbnail, Aguilar. Great thumbnail. That is just the absolute best, Anthony. Change. You know what? I'm going to blank the screen real quick. Just to make absolutely sure. Yeah, that'll work. This will be just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Documents. All right. Okay, that should work. Properties. It was working. Properties one more time. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Holy hell. Cancel. We had it perfect. We had it so perfect. Oh my mother of God. Is anybody even watching? Fantastic. We are public though. We've got 4 people. Great. Fantastic. Just hang with me 1 second. Oh, jeez. Wait. Oh, good. Yeah, it's up. All right, fantastic. Yes. All right. So, I saw this on Twitter earlier. Originally, I looked at it and my first thought was, well, that's BS. As neat as it would be to bitch about this guy who's waffled back and forth on it, you know, whether masks are essential or not, that's not what I'm here for today. So I'm just going to weigh in. Anybody knows Dr. Fauci under fire for spending $400,000 for funding cruel experiments on dogs in universities, defends him. Here's what happened. So, for any of you guys out there and be like, oh, this the PETA thing, truth be told, when I saw it trending on Twitter, which last time I looked it wasn't, PETA was like the first fucking remark there. So we'll see if it's a bit more than that. Dr. Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Diseases, is under the spotlight once again for wasting taxpayers' money and funding cruelty on unscientific experiments on canines. In a new revelation by the White Coat Waste Project, which, WCW, it was found that a whopping 424,455, you know, I'm just going to say 424,000, was spent by NIAD in infecting beagles, a breed of small scent hound with a deadly parasite. So just from my own personal experience, I've had 3 dogs in my life. It's been more than a hot minute since I've had any. Yeah, they do take up a lot of costs and expenses, but you know, I have a fondness for that topic. So if you've had an animal yourself, and you're probably going to be less than thrilled with this. The critical information unknown to the public was obtained through the request made under the Freedom of Information Act. The White Coast Waste Project informed that beagles were healthy when they were subjected to a parasite infection. That's slightly different from what I've heard so far. On Twitter, it said something way different, but we'll probably see that in some of these articles. It's a kind of gruesome. To add that said parasite was also known to spread to humans. The WCW project noted the dogs suffered 3 months of excruciating pain where they were enthused by blood collection after the experiments were over. As per the document obtained, the experiment had conducted September 2020 at the University of Georgia. The funds were transferred to the Varsity by the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease to infect 28 beagles with disease-causing parasite. Well, this is way different from what the hell I read on Twitter. So yeah, anybody's like, well, hey, Anthony, maybe you shouldn't be listening to Twitter. Okay, the project accused Dr. Fauci of ordering experiments, later blaming it on the National Institute of Health NIH division. The project also revealed the cruel experiments that were undertaken to find a treatment for a tropical disease named lymphoma filariae. Sheldon would know how to say this crap. It added that the tests were concluded on animals and other than beagle. According to WCW director, don't want to say Bischoff, Justin Goodman, the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, had earlier said the testing on the dogs was always not compatible with interactions between drugs and the human body. Well, yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard, experimentation on rats, or I guess, the ape kingdom seems to be a bit closer on that. That's why I'm partially confused. He emphasized that the testing done on the beagles was a example of not following the science. I'll get to you about the original story that I heard about in a bit here. Goodman also said that he remarked that the experiment with the dogs had been seized by the Veteran Affairs, the VA, Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, as per research that the manager of the White Coat Waste Project, Daniel Lopez. The document showcased the need for holding Dr. Fauci's accountable for wasting and cruel spending. Fox National host Laura Logan remarked, actually I have no idea what it is, "We know these things happen, but should they be happened with taxpayer money? Dr. Fauci is increasingly becoming Dr. Evil." Over and over again, the decisions that he made have just destroyed millions of lives all over the world and are becoming more apparent by the day. Well, I guess we'll open to interpretation if anybody knows anything about that. I can only assume I know the topic they're talking about. We still don't know so much what he's doing. We don't know what they're all doing with the NIH, with the animals. We don't know what researching and funding with the gain of function. We don't know how many kids lost out on their education and how much mental health have been affected and the disease and economics destroyed. It is really staggering that the impact of this has been, and how this has been handled. The University of Georgia defended Dr. Fauci, expecting support for cruel testing of canines. While spreading about the matter on Newsweek, Greg Trevor alleged that the experiments were done for the development of a potential vaccine. I'm gonna check for you what everybody's saying right now, if I've held anybody's attention. No, we're up to 6. It's a miracle. I'm thinking about the number of dog fatalities in comparison to the 2 people. John Bubba, I heard something about this a few months ago. Bubba, you around? Well, I guess I am flying solo. That's shucks. So, what I'd heard, maybe I could find a article where it's 2 million on experiments. Geez, that's quite a bit. How reliable is the Daily Mail? And by the way, the links to all these articles are down below for anybody who wants to check independently. Not that I looked very hard, I will admit. I probably just went to Yahoo and slapped in Dr. Fauci and dog abuse, or dog something or other. Again, at this point in time, beagles deprived in cages so flies could eat them alive. That's the story I heard. That's what made me go, holy shit! Bipartisan fury at the reprehensible misuse of taxpayer dollars. This is the first I heard about 2 million, so take that with a grain of salt. But we're definitely in the 6 figures. A group of 24 bipartisan lawmakers are demanding answers from Dr. Anthony Fauci. Now, I haven't had the chance to really look at TV. I barely watch it. I have some family members who do. They didn't know anything about this on the news. Does anybody watch TV and the news? Because I haven't heard about this touching CNBC or MS, blah, blah, blah. All the alphabet soup channels, all the main ones. Fox, whatever the hell. You get the idea. Alleges 378 on the research. So, here's the screwed up thing. From what I understand is, they took these dogs, they put their heads through this contraption. Let's see if there's... Yeah, that's it! That's exactly what I'm talking about. And allegedly, they lit sandflies slowly eat their faces off. And you're like, first you'd be like, well, that's fucking horrifying too. That's gotta be bullshit. Like, and I'm not defending Fauci. I'm just saying, like, my default stance when I hear something really fucking horrifying, and then again, I did this with Kiro, is, that's so horrifying, it has to be bullshit. What do you guys think? Damn, 7. Okay. Wasting taxpayers for dog experiments. So, here's my thought, and I'm going to get booed and probably downvoted and, you know, plucked from the vine and canceled for this. If a video came out there right now where there were 2 dogs on, like, let's say a slab like this, and in the video, or a dog, you see it getting an injection. It convulses violently for like a minute, maybe 5 minutes, and it expires. If you told me that was a medical experiment, that was essential to testing out a drug, and let me word myself here very carefully, not condone, not say A-OK, not say I wouldn't be pissed off, but I would understand. I would understand that would potentially be how medical things happen. I'd be confused why they'd be using a beagle. I could understand they're like, oh, it's having a negative reaction. We're going to take some notes now. Again, I'm not saying that that's the best way to do it, but I would go, all right, as appalled and shocked as I am, it would check out in my head. And if someone sat there and said there's got to be a better way, I wouldn't be arguing with you necessarily. But at the same time, I have several family members who are getting on in years. I hear nothing about like more and more diseases coming out all the time. I would kind of get it, but I don't understand how, if that's true, the part about the flies eating the dog's faces off, how that's scientific or medical in any goddamn way whatsoever. That part has to be over the top, don't you think? Sandflies, yes. That is, in fact, what I've heard. Does anybody in the chat, like, if America were mostly, I guess, a desert region, and the expected, like, maybe there were like 10% of the deaths in America happened out in the desert or as a result of sandflies, I maybe, but this feels like it's sub DCP. We're just talking about how our government, not yours. Oddly enough, DCP, the mainstream news station I saw was Australian that broke this story. If dogs were already suffering from the infestation, that would be one thing. Yeah, the first article I read, they talked about it, them being injected with a parasite, to the second article being they had sandflies put on their face, which I don't know how long that takes for you to expire from flies biting you. And I'm not sure I want to know. Let's see. Dogs against Fauci, the cruelty of a psychopath. You know what? Let's give it a listen. Oh, you know what? Let me set this up so it comes through the headset. Da 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 da. Speakers, USB, set to default. All right. Ugh. So, the thing that always makes me flinch, at least on, you know, if you've ever watched a murder movie, when I see anything around the throat, I just go, ugh. Let's see how accurate this channel is. White coat waste. Nancy Meade leads bipartisan letter to demand. Oh! There is something about this on Fox. Well, let's see. We'll do one for Fox, and then we'll see if there's one for one of the liberal stations, so everybody feels included.
The work in that lab, including its research into disease-carrying bats, was funded in part by U.S. taxpayers through the National...
Oh, no, this is a Chinese thing. Okay. This person definitely doesn't like Fauci. Discusses the exposure in corrupted science, Fauci's NIH. For a cruel beagle. Here we go.
It's being reported that the NIH, led by Fauci, spent more, this is a different story, but it's a shocking one, spent more than $1 million research that killed dozens of beagle puppies, according to NIH documents that were obtained by the watchdog group White Coat Waste.
Okay, so I'm way behind October 5th. I thought this shit just cracked today. We're way into October at this point.
Project. Research deemed unnecessary, I should say, by the FDA. It involved injecting dogs with an experimental drug before killing and dissecting them. These are puppies. This is the hero of the left right now. More than $1 million of taxpayer money was spent on this. This story, where did this come from, and your reaction to it?
Well, let's face it, the government funds all kinds of outrageous research projects. But I think the real story here that we really need to be concerned about is how all this government funding has completely corrupted science.
Okay. We'll still keep looking. I don't think it was Fox, but I'm pretty sure that was still right wing. I'm trying to be fair for everybody in the chat that just doesn't want to hear Anthony go, the damn left. I don't think the left is about animal abuse. I could definitely bitch about a lot of things. I don't know where this comes from, and I don't know why. I'm mostly confused. And definitely the person I nabbed this off of, Band-Aid Bliss on Twitter, I believe, but correct me if I'm wrong, I think is a liberal, so yes, I'm going to try really goddamn hard not to turn this into right and left. No promises. Going to try, though.
And if you didn't hate this guy already, you're about to. What I'm about to tell you, I almost don't believe myself. The White Coat Waste Project, the taxpayer watchdog group, reports that Dr. Fauci supported and funded experiments that killed 28 dogs. The report says beagles were intentionally infected with parasites, then allowed to develop diseases before being killed so their blood could be examined.
But, by the way, if anybody's interested, I will include a link to White Coat Waste. Edit. Get out of the way. Paste. Blammo. Mostly likely news drip. Wait a minute. Which movie production company distributed that Dr. Fauci documentary? I think that needs to be Protest. Well, I don't know anything about that, Ray. Again, I got off work not too long ago, and we're, as always, flying by the seat of our pants. Let's see. Here we are.
At a cost of nearly $500,000. The Food and Drug Administration, however, says the experiments were pointless as they don't mandate drugs for humans to be tested on dogs. And that is a crying shame, Dr. Fauci.
Okay, we got people bitching about Fauci. Google bans Fauci dog tests. Alright, so if my channel was still monetizable, we'd lose that. So the other one still has it for like maybe another couple of days, who knows. So yeah. Wasn't on set with Fauci. Okay, so I keep hearing about the Alec Baldwin being Yosemite Sam lately. I'm not really cued in on that. You'll have to tip me off about that later, Bubba. I'm calling it Michael Vick is better than Fauci. I have seen that on Twitter. So, I thought about this at work, and I do not know all the ins and outs. However, if I were, say, to be Dr. Fauci's defense lawyer, I'm not this guy's friend, I'm not this guy's fan. I've felt frustrated by some of the inconsistent messages he's put out there, but I do not want this man to be boiled in oil and have his fat sold for, I forget how the saying goes, but you know what I'm saying. I don't want to see him tortured. Potentially. I don't know how much of this is true, but let's say you're Dr. Fauci, right? And you've probably got a pretty busy plate. You've probably had a pretty busy plate since Donnie was in office, and I'm assuming it's only picked up since basically Joe Biden's picked up. Would you not say that the medical focus of the United States has definitely picked up? So I would assume his workload has increased in this time. I'm just speculating. So with that in mind, do I think that probably day in and day out, there are probably times where he's probably missed his family, his friends, loved ones, male or female, not judging. And maybe just it happened one too many times. Maybe his boss, whether it be Biden or Donnie or some in between, comes up to his desk and drops down just a stack of papers. I want you to go through these, and I want you to check off what gets in and out. Just day in and day out. He's just tired of missing his family and just goes, fuck it. Approve, 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 and I'm going home. Kiss my ass. Now, I'm not saying I've never done that. I'm also saying I'm also not denying I've ever done that. Now, yes, there is a huge difference between the schleppy job that I do and what a doctor does. I don't know how demanding Dr. Fauci's job is, and I don't know all the responsibilities, and I don't know how many goddamn pages, whether they be in text, physical, on a computer screen, where it blurs and gets together. I don't know how much of that crap that he looked at each and every goddamn day, where it just, maybe it was buried under like freaking pages and pages, and he just went, okay. Or maybe, who knows, maybe somebody he trusted tapped him on the shoulder, hey, I need you to push this through. Alright, let me glance at the first couple pages. Yeah, sure. Works for me. We could always cut the funding later. That's possible. Fooding on blood of animals and laying eggs in animals is what makes them parasitic. Okay, Bubba. I'm not arguing. Okay, so the desert version of our European horseflies. Is that you, David? Oh, shit. But yeah, it's pretty grim. Let's keep taking a look here. In the letter sent to President Joe Biden, both Democrat and Republican lawmakers are demanding the administration look into the accusations made by the White Coat Waste Project. WCW. That should be really easy to remember. The letter demanded to know how many puppies have undergone testing since 2018, and since it is a major misuse of taxpayer funds. Now, the remark I said, which you could take as glib, if this gets through, I want to see, well, maybe I don't, what fucking projects don't get through? What saw-tier bullshit does the government going, nah? We write with grave concern about our reports of costly and cruel and unnecessary taxpayer funding experiments on dogs. Commissioned. See, I thought I was taking liberties when I said tax-paying, but, you know, if they're saying that, okay. Commissioned by the National Institute of Allergy, Infections, and Disease, the letter says. South Carolina Republican Nancy Mace spearheaded the letter, which included signatures of 23 other lawmakers. Of particular in concern in this fact of the invoice to NIAID included a line item of cordactum? Correct? Yeah, I can't. It's on screen. As you are likely aware that the on screen, also known as devolization, involves slitting a dog's vocal cords in order to prevent them from Holy fuck! Howling and crying. Lawmakers said, adding, this is a reprehensible misuse of taxpayer funds. I would certainly say so. Good. Couldn't they have just drugged the goddamn dog? Holy shit. Okay, so the desert. Okay, I'm just making sure anybody else said anything else. Oh, okay. Pressed over U.S. funding of cruel medical things. Let's just take a look here. Federal. I'm just making sure to see how much varies. I'm going to go with the $400,000 as opposed to whatever crazy amount that first article said. Or, yeah, let's see. And one of them said 10 million or some crazy shit like that. But Bethesda, MD. Federal lawmakers are seeking answers from Dr. Fauci. Sandflies, removal of vocal cords to quiet their barking. Okay. You know, removal sounds a lot worse than slitting, doesn't it? Anyways, according to the document obtained via a Freedom of Information Act by taxpayers watchdog, yeah, we've covered that. Animal rights advocates also worrying about the reports that the beagles and the dogs are in the medical experiments had their vocal cords removed to quiet their bark. I don't know, it's removed sounds way... I'm not even going to try and think about it anymore. Gonna be fun sleeping tonight. As you are likely aware, a chordectomy, also known as a devocalization. Okay, yeah, we covered this. Devocalization, yeah, no, this is Anthony being learning to read. The Congressional correspondence was cited by, yeah, we covered that before. U.S. funding of medical research involving potential cruel treatment of dogs, in particular beagles, is... You know, I guess I'd be slightly more understanding if this were, I guess, COVID-related, but this all seems to have gone down, what, 2018, 2019? Am I misunderstanding that right? Or at the very least, that's how far back they're looking into it? Not true, just science. Shock the left hate dogs. Well, I don't think that the left hate dogs. I'm not gonna go with that. That's I did see somebody who tried to make this like that's something to blame on Trump. I'm like, how? No, come on. Look, I'm not a fan of Nancy Pelosi, but I'm not gonna be like, yes, this is her master plan. No. Jesus. I think the weirdos who abuse animals on Twitter would probably even be horrified by this. Fucking holy shit. Fart. Snoopy is a beagle. Yeah, you're right, Ray. Yeah, this is as bad as that. Beagles are way cuter than Snoopy. Look them up. Oh crap. They like to yap a lot, but I guess apparently doctors don't like back talk. Be careful, kids, when you go see a doctor. Holy shit. It's fun Umbrella Corp science. Well, I guess we're going to call this a quick in and out. I can't say I hope you had fun. If a lot more develops, I'll try and come back. I guess I was looking forward to doing some other things, but I felt like including this, and I've seen a lot of people like eye for an eye and this, that, and the other. I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt that perhaps Fauci might have been incompetent as opposed to, you know, doing this out of gratification. Yeah, thanks, Fox. Thanks for humoring me at this time. Feel free, if you guys learn anything out, feel free to leave a comment down below or Twitter. You guys